Good afternoon, everybody, and Happy New Year. Welcome to the first 2021 in our series of our I Am a Small Business Instagram Live. So if this is your first time attending, which it may be, I'm Liz Smith. I'm president of the St. John's Boosters Business Association. And we started this series after seeing a very successful campaign that Venture Portland did, highlighting different businesses and the people who run them. It's really a very people-centered campaign. We also ran this campaign on our social media. Looks something like that, if you might have seen it. And we thought, well, this is so great. How can we take this to the next level? And I thought it would be so fun to be able to bring some business owners and employees right to your living room or wherever you may be watching from, and hear a conversation with them about what they're doing in their business, what's changed, what does 2021 look like, how can you participate? So I'm very excited today to be able to interview Cristina Marino. Cristina is the executive director and co-founder of Cathedral Park Performing Arts Collective. She is in the waiting room now. I think we should go ahead and get started. All right, the magic happens, guys. Love this part. Here we go. Our connection, my connection's been really weird with all the rain, so it worked. Excellent. There she is. Hello,
Hi.
Cristina.
Hi. So
how are you doing?
I'm good. It's just there's something blocking my face, and so I can't see if you can see me, but I assume you can.
I can see you.
Can you hear me too? Because I can hear you.
Yeah,
okay.
You're good.
Good. This is very new for me, technology-wise.
I know, we all use technology so much, but keeping up with technology is like a whole other thing. And, but don't worry about it. I mean, that's the thing about live. It's got all the fun things about being in the moment and all of the fun things about, hey, I wonder what could happen during this live interview, right? Who knows?
Yeah, the camera will fall on the floor. That is
right.
possible. Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully not.
I'm just always praying, like, please, don't let the mail come right now. I don't need the barking dogs at the window when I'm doing this interview. But you know what happens? It's fine. Everyone gets it. We're all working from home, whatever that looks like. So yay. So I am really excited to talk to you today and to let the audience hear directly from you, like what's going on in your organization. But what I'd love to do to start us off is kind of give some context about you and how you founded your organization and when, just like a little brief history tour of Cathedral Park, of the mouthful, Cathedral Park Performing Arts Collective.
Okay, so a brief history in the life of Cathedral Park Arts, if you will. You could shorten it. You could do that. Yes, so going back, so we founded in 2015, co-founded with Joseph Cirillo and Audrey Voon. And, but going back a few years before that, we started really with summer musical theater workshops in 2011. And that's sort of like where the group aspects happened, the ensemble, the workshop kind of ideas. And then it sort of grew through there. And that was all through my business, which is Cathedral Park Music.
Right.
And I and my co-founders agreed that after a number of years that, hey, we feel like this could be, we would be able to better serve the community if we became a nonprofit. And so we basically took those ensembles that had begun to form and the workshops and some other classes that started and moved it into, like, gave them to the nonprofit, basically. So I kept my business, which is lessons, individual lessons, voice, piano, violin, and then I have a guitar and ukulele teachers as well, because I don't know how to play those instruments. And
you don't?
No. I mean, I've dabbled, but not dedicated practice to actually be able to impart any wisdom to other folks. So in 2015, took all of those classes, etc., and and formed a nonprofit, Cathedral Park Performing Arts Collective. And yes, it is a long name. And we really did work hard on, you know, it wasn't just a, oh, let's just call it this. It was it was very planful and thoughtful. We do realize it is a long name, but the collective was very important because we felt like we wanted it to be part, very much a group minded idea and place where people, instructors, individuals could feel a part of something, and that's what that was all about, the collective.
Very mindful, and speaks to. It sounds, just when you hear a collective, it just sounds very community, and it sounds inclusive, and it sounds like all those things that I imagine that your organization stands for.
Certainly, yes, definitely. That is what we strive for. That is our goal. It is very much a community. I mean, once you form a nonprofit, it very much is that. It doesn't belong to anybody. So we are truly here to serve the community through the performing arts and engaging people, engaging our community in the performing arts, and that's what we are striving to do. And so, yes, from in the last 5 years now, many things have evolved and changed and grown and changed. Because in this last year, it's just amazing to think back on a year ago and where we were at. And we shared space with the Aspire Project for our first, well, really our first 5 years. And now we're in our 6th year now. And when the Aspire Project, which is a wonderful organization, decided needed to close, we were in need of a new space, and we felt like we were ready to grow out of our space as well, because we were mostly using just one room. And so we moved in June, the end of June, in the middle of the pandemic, like you do when you do what you know, just keep on keeping on. And so that we have a new space that we have not been able to welcome anybody into quite yet. So that is a change, because we, you know, being a part of a very vibrant space, the dance studio and our studio with all the marimbas and rock band and choirs and musical theater and yelling improv, whatever is going on, insanity. It's quiet it's so different. And but anyway, yeah. So being online changed things, and we're continuing to offer our programs online, and we've decided that as long as we can, you know, to continue to offer and to continue to offer programs, and this is the way that we feel the most responsible.
Well, I can imagine, you know, even just with your name, the performing part of the name of your organization, you have something like a pandemic come along, and it's like, well, how are we going to do that? What does that look like? So can you describe what that does look like right now? Like, what do classes look like? How have you kept the performing aspect alive for the community in a different way, maybe?
Mm-hmm. Definitely, yeah, because we like I said, for the last 5 years, we had regular showcases where our students would perform for an audience. We had end of workshop performances for the musical theater, choir. St. John's Women's Choir was regularly performing in the community. So yes, that's right. That's our mission, is to engage people in the performing arts. And so, so transitioning into online, it has changed in the way that we have had to learn how to make videos and become sort of recording artists and recording performing artists, which is not
So
something,
different.
yes, it's very different. It is not my main level of expertise. My background is all stage-based performing. So cameras, yeah, cameras, microphones. However, we do live in a very advanced technological age where you don't really need to have super duper high quality uh, devices, or at least, you know, microphones and whatnot, unless you really care about that. And I do care about that, but you know, there's such things as budgets, and that doesn't always fit into budgets. So so we have and not and our students certainly don't have uh, high tech kinds of things. But the beauty of where we are now in 2021, many people, not everybody, but many people have smartphones or
Right.
tablets or whatnot, and those do a very good job of recording both audio and visual video. So so that's how we've been sort of being able to um, piecemeal things together and create performances. And however, let me also say that that takes some extra effort on the students' part. And
Yeah.
when they're younger students, that means that also generally parents or adults need to be helping them with that. So that is wonderful when people are able to do that. And but I understand that that's a lot sometimes for families to
Yeah,
manage.
it is. And it's, yeah, you imagine how, like, we have businesses where we're kind of, forced to learn these things because it's the only way now. But for just individuals at home, you can only give people so much to like learn in this arena for it to be still doable. I mean, I even struggled with the Instagram live, like, should I do a different platform? Should I do something more slick? And I had to remember you have to kind of use what you have, or it's never going to happen. It's going to be too complicated.
That's true.
And it doesn't, one thing that I've sort of let go of is it doesn't have to be perfect to be good, right?
Certainly. Yes. And honestly, you know, even with when we were having our showcases in person, we would always say that this is just a snapshot. This is not, you know, yes, we've been working on something for 10 weeks or however long, maybe longer depending on the group. But that we are all in process and learning together. And you know, I feel like often also with performing arts, there's always more to grow. Like there's always,
Yeah.
yeah, there's always more that could change. Or that's the beauty of it too, is that yes, you have this, it's a moment in time. A performance
Yeah.
is a moment in time. And when you record something, it feels like, oh gosh, this is going to live forever. And what if I do a horrible job, whatever that means? And this is once again sort of hearing what some of my students have said. So yeah, it's definitely has been a learning process for at least for the younger people, because I also teach in addition to leading the organization. I'm a teacher of 2 classes, and so I hear like,
And you're also a student.
and I'm a student.
Yeah.
It's true.
All
Yeah.
aspects.
Yeah. I'm very much, yes, I live this organization.
So full disclosure, so Cristina and I have known each other for I think the entire 6 years that I've lived here, which is when you started the organization. And there's, I always look for like what has the upside been of the pandemic. And one of the upsides is that people who might not have been able to come to the in-person classes can now go on the online classes. So I'm in the St. John's Women's Choir, and so that allowed you to actually be a student in the choir, and so we could do that together.
It's true. It's true. Yeah. So I have been wanting to be a part, like really a part of the women's choir for for years. I was briefly part of it before it was part of the organization. So just at the very, very birth of it. And then basically once we started the organization, I was like, too many other things and I just can't fit it in or whatever. And you know, with the pause of many things that have happened in folks' lives, it allowed me to think about things a little bit more, as I'm sure it did for most everybody, and try to prioritize things that are important, because I get to sing in various other aspects of my life, and I love that. But being a part of a choir is very different from, you know, singing with Portland Opera in a chorus. It's different, and a women's choir specifically, and this particular community of women it's unique and beautiful, and I've only, you know, I see it. I was for many years saw it from the outside and sort of felt like an honorary member just because y'all are so lovely and welcoming. But now, yes, now I get to be a part of it for real.
Well, it's interesting too, and I would imagine that as a participant, you get the participant's view, so that can only make you better as a director and a teacher, because now you're experiencing it from the other side as a student would. And that's, I think, the thing about all of this new stuff and this new way we're doing it. Unless you experience it, it's very hard to know what people need, what people want, and also that is also constantly changing. One of the things I wanted to ask you, because I think, you know, we have new people moving into the area, new businesses, new all the time, and less opportunity for Did you lose me for a second? My phone like shut off.
Oh,
yeah, that's fun. It's good times.
I was like, I'll just sit here quietly and wait. I'm glad you came back.
Storm out of the room or anything. So what I was going to say was, for those who might not know, what programs do you offer and to whom?
Yes. So yes, our classes, actually, our winter term classes begin next week. So the 19th specifically, which is Tuesday, we have acting skills for youth. That's ages 7 to 11, 12-ish. And then later in that day, we have improv for life, which is an adults only class. And both of those classes are led by Tony Cohen, who has been teaching with us for a number of years, and I probably should remember how many, but it feels like from the beginning. But we have had a couple of other instructors, but Tony is wonderful and his students love him, and we're so grateful to have him as part of the organization. He's also come on to do graphic design for us as well, which is really exciting. Sorry, that's a side note.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Yeah, it is, because he's
all hands on deck, right?
Yes, and he's a really beautiful graphic designer. That's his main training is in graphic design. So he just is a man of many talents. And on Thursdays we have musical theater and sing St. John's Children's Choir, and I lead both of those and have for many years, and love my people, my little people. So they're, and not so little anymore. I've watched them grow up, which is amazing. I mean, I know that happens and that's life, but it's just always really cool to watch my students go from being very small 7-year-olds with timid little voices and grow to be, 11, 12 and beyond. So that's exciting as a teacher. So then on Fridays we have Wes Price's classes, and he teaches or he leads Build a Band, and that he started that as well, and that has spurred a couple of garage bands, if you might call them. I don't know if they call them that anymore.
I know. I was gonna say, I feel like that's a term I know very well.
Well,
do those young kids
I'm
know
old
that term
too. Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, I think some of them actually. I was talking to one of the parents, and they were performing like a band that formed from Build a Band, the class,
Cool.
continued on, and they were performing in their driveway, I guess, throughout the summer and whatnot. So they're having little shows for the neighborhood. So that's pretty awesome to get. I know. Sector 5. Shout out to Sector 5, I think is the name of the band. Anyway.
I feel like if anybody wants to start a family band, pandemic times is the time to do that.
Certainly.
Any Partridge family, I'm dating myself again, any Partridge families out there just waiting to happen, now would be a good time.
Now's the time.
Yeah.
Never gonna happen again. No,
and get your start with Cathedral Park Performing Arts Collective. Just build a band for learn how to do that. All right, so we've got build a band.
And then guitar. Sorry, I'm like blah blah blah. Guitar and ukulele is the other class that Wes teaches, and that's also on Friday. And then women's choir is going to start up again the beginning of February, and Audrey Voon is our director and has been since the beginning, and she's also co-founder and artistic director for many years, for the last 5 years. And she is on maternity leave, so we have a new director, an interim director, a guest conductor, you might call her, and her name is Christine Stuber, and we're really excited to work with her. She has a lot of a background in women's studies and feminist theory, and yay, St. John's Women's Choir, Audrey Voon Music is watching.
Hi Audrey, we see you.
Hi Audrey. And so we're excited to get to work with her. And Audrey, actually, of Audrey Voon Music, is going to be leading a vocal improv workshop next Thursday, which is the 21st.
Nice.
I believe, yes. And that's at 6:30, and that's for ages 16 and up. And yeah, she led a workshop in the beginning of December, and vocal improv is not my strong suit either, and meaning there are many things that are not my strong suit. That would be one of them. I vocal improv in my house all of the time alone.
Right.
But bringing that into the world, or on Zoom with other people, is scary and also fun. And so anyway, my plug for that is that try something new. If you enjoy singing and you want to explore different parts of your voice and explore different ways of thinking about singing, this is great. It really actually gets you out of your head and just feels a little bit more free form, and follows in the tradition of Bobby McFerrin and Rhiannon.
That's so cool
anyway.
That you offer both repeated classes on different days and times, but also there's the option if you want to do, or in addition to a class, you can also do a workshop for something a little bit different, for just a one evening,
Exactly.
All different ways to participate.
So yeah, exactly. We try to offer as much as in all the ways that we can to let everybody participate in whatever way they feel suits them best. And so beyond our classes, we also have Music at Home, which is a private Facebook page that we started when the pandemic began. And initially it was for all ages, all different kinds of programming. And now it's a little bit more focused on our littles and the families, so parents or guardians and small children. And that's led by Sam Hawk, and that's starting up again the 23rd, Saturday. So those are on Saturdays at 10 a.m. And you can,
good for the littles.
Yes, so you can tune in live if you join that page. And it's called Music at Home. And if you are on our social media pages or even our website, you'll see Music at Home and a way to join there. And our ways of finding us are Cathedral Park Arts is our handles, and cathedralparkarts.org. One other thing that we're offering, two other things.
A couple other things, I think.
Open mic night is another offering that we do monthly, and that used to be in person, of course, not of course, but it was in person, and uh, it was a very intimate kind of group where we gather people in the community, come and share your poetry, your music, your short stories or excerpts from a novel. It ran the gamut and still does, because luckily, once again, we have been able to be online for that. And I'm thrilled, as are, I think, the people who are participating in it, how much people are showing up for that. And
Totally.
and it still feels like that intimate group that it was in person, and it's just so special, and to get to share. And so it really, it's any, wherever you're at, maybe you're trying to work on a song and you want to get feedback, or you want to just play it for somebody because you know it's you want to get it out there,
Yeah.
beyond your own room and your house or whatever.
I
It's a
love
great
that
opportunity.
aspect. And I had Keith from Three Tracks on here a few weeks ago, and they were doing like this ukulele special, and he gave actually Cathedral Park Music a shout out, like if you wanted to take lessons. But I kind of imagine the string of events where everyone's, you know, at a stay-at-home order. You want to make music, you purchase a ukulele, you take a few lessons, and you kind of want to hear how it sounds. You've worked on something, but you're not quite ready to go completely public yet. So you have this nice little intimate group made up of neighbors who you can perform for, but in a nice small space. I absolutely love attending that event myself. Even, and for me, sometimes I don't have something ready, but I'll just go as an audience member. It's kind of a nice thing to watch and just hang out and see everybody.
Yeah, I agree. It's funny because I didn't used to perform very, like, maybe I would perform every once in a while when it was in person.
Yeah.
But I have performed way more, and that's not the kind of performing that I usually do either, because
Right.
I'm very practiced and have to be perfect, whatever that means. And
Yeah.
of course, that's not how, I don't practice what I preach, or I didn't practice what I preached before, because with my students, I'm like, just you're doing, this is your work, and
Yeah.
you're in progress. And I talk about that all the time, and it's so hard for yourself to,
Yep.
no, but
I
I'm an
totally
adult and
agree.
it has to be this way anyway.
And
But
it's their business. It's your chosen career, so you have to
right.
show up this way. But it's interesting how, again, like I spoke of it before, we've had to let go of so many things.
Yes,
And
I was
actually,
just gonna say, yeah, it's
yeah,
freeing.
it's like,
Like,
why not try? What's the harm? This is the perfect time to do it. Try, and you might surprise yourself.
So yeah, so I've experienced some new things as well, accompanying myself while singing. That's not something I generally did
I
pre-COVID.
aspire to that. I'm not there yet.
Yeah, it's a skill like anything, right? And
Yep.
actually, in regards to vocal improv, much like everything, it's a skill that you develop. You don't just come out of the womb knowing how to vocally improvise. You know what I mean?
I think probably, yeah, you kind of do it in a natural way then, and then we become adults, and then all these barriers present themselves, and it's like, let's get rid of those, and let's just see what happens, and it's okay.
Yeah.
And that's why I think your guided courses in those kind of areas like vocal improv are so good, because you do get that professional guidance or some tricks and tips on how to help yourself get past some barriers, or there's some exercises you can practice, or whatever that is. It touches all bases. I think that's why Audrey's so good at it too, because I think she has a real connection with just the human spirit and emotional connection with music. So what would you say, like, this is a big question, I know we're close to time, but
I have no idea what time it is.
I know. What day is it even? It's pandemic day. So what does music mean to you in this really new normal of this world with these interesting limitations and other opportunities? Like, what is music to you, and what would you hope it is to others? I guess.
Yes. Well, music and theater.
And performing arts. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to speak to both just
Yeah.
because for me they're so intertwined.
Yep.
I sorry. Oh, I just got a message from my phone company saying I'm almost out of data. Whoops. Okay.
What a good time to find that out.
Yes, I won't be using Instagram Live anytime soon again.
No, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. It's all for a good cause. So,
Right.
so yes, what does it mean to me? Goodness gracious. Well, I think it has not being able to perform in the way that I'm used to performing, which is, like I said before, on stage. Goodness, it has just made me miss that community of in all different ways, you know, with my work with Portland Opera, and then performing with my students in person. It definitely solidified the important. I mean, not that I ever thought that it wasn't important before, but it yeah, this
drives that home, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And so I'm so grateful that we are able to connect via Zoom or what have you, to be able to continue to connect, I guess,
Yeah.
to continue to share music. I think, yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, because I personally haven't stopped singing in my own home, or, you know, I feel so lucky that I get to teach music. So I'm surrounded by music all day long, and it's wonderful, and it's people at all different stages, and I'm so grateful that I'm able to help people along their path, and whatever that means for them. And so, yeah, I think I always think about, like, what happens after the pandemic, but you know, who knows how long.
Who knows?
And we'll continue to try to adapt and adjust and do what we can to provide an outlet for people, a platform for people to share and do what they need to do to be a part of that world of music and theater, whatever it means. It's different.
Whatever it means. I love it. And I love the fact that that you were able to pivot, that word that we use.
Yeah, I know.
I almost wasn't going to say it, but
it's okay. I mean, what else are you going to say?
I know. You've been able to pivot, and still, I mean, this is not different than your other class offerings, other terms, other years. They're still there. The teachers are still teaching. Oh my gosh. And I wanted to give you a chance to, again, this is Liz from the St. John's Boosters Business Association with Cristina Marino from Cathedral Park Performing Arts Collective, Cathedral Park Arts, CPAC. And go ahead and give, and if you could tell people, I'm going to make this the second to last question, but if you could tell people where they get in touch with you, how they can support the organization, and then we'll go to the last question, which is, you know, you're also a community member. Like, what other businesses do you like to support? So first give them all your details, and then we'll do the last one.
Okay. So you can, like I said earlier, I think you can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Cathedral Park Arts. That's our handle. Yeah. And we're always posting about what's going on and what we're offering, and on those platforms. And then our website, cathedralparkarts.org. All of a sudden I was like, what am I saying? cathedralparkarts.org, and you can register for classes there. That also will keep you up to date on our offerings as well. Is that?
Yep, that's perfect.
And then the community. How I love this community. So I've been in Portland for since 1997. What? Yeah, so I've been in Portland for a long time, but I've been in St. John's since 2009. So I we bought our home here then, uh, and so St. John's, we looked long and hard and decided which neighborhood we wanted to finally settle in. I sort of started in Southwest and migrated north or southeast, northeast, and then all the way north, and basically as far as far north until you
I think you keep going further north.
Well, a little bit, I guess, across the river.
A little bit.
Yeah, but anyway, so so love this community, and so businesses that I support, all of them as much as possible. But to name a few, I guess, it's always the food folks that come to mind the most. Chop, love Chop.
Yum.
Mikasa.
Yum.
I love Mikasa. Affogato, always get my coffee, my bags of coffee there. Bags of coffee.
Yes.
And the chai is also really awesome.
Ooh,
the Great North, when Affogato's not open for getting hot chais and whatnot.
Yeah.
Who else am I missing? I moving my way down. Oh, well, okay, so shopping wise, Two Rivers bookstore, and if I was a yarn person, I would a yarn person.
I'm an appreciator.
Knitter, that's the word. Knitter. If I was a knitter, I would also support them. But books, yes, I definitely get my books at Two Rivers. I would love to check out Revolutions. I have yet to go into the bookstore.
Very cool. Yeah.
And Salty Teacup, watched them grow and move to, they used to be in this little tiny space, and so yeah, what Karen is doing there is wonderful. And Sparrow down the way, I love that.
So excited that they're here.
Wonderful. I know everybody. I would love to support them all, and I do on it, throughout. But those are my main ones, and then the food carts over by well, it used to be Kruger's. I don't know if they're calling it that.
They kind of call them the beer porch.
Beer porch, yeah.
Or food cart pod, but I also call it Kruger because that's what stuck in my mind.
Yeah,
Kruger was there. Yeah.
And yes, I love El Burrito Mojado and then Rose City Taqueria, but that's not in that food cart pod. Anyway,
but it's you don't have to be geographical.
I know. I'm like thinking in my mind. And
there's so many, right?
Kazumi, the sushi.
Oh yes, that dory roll.
Well, anyway, so many yummy.
So, now I'm hungry. That's what that did.
This always happens, doesn't it?
This always happens. No, I think that's wonderful, and I am super excited to see you tomorrow at Open Mic online.
Yes.
So
tomorrow,
Christina's going to be there. I'm going to be there. That's going to be super fun. So I will see you there, and then I will see you this term in choir as well.
Yay!
Very excited.
Well, I hope that more folks in our community can come join us, because we would love We'd love to see you in our classes, and
And also the other thing, I guess I'll just throw this in there. One of the things that online gives you is the opportunity to join these classes, no matter where in Portland you live, no matter where in the United States you live. It's
true. Yeah, it's true.
They're great.
We have had folks join us.
Yeah, so if you wanted to take a class with your mom, like say my mom lives in Chicago, we could potentially take a class together now.
Yeah.
Or we couldn't normally. So that's like, when I look for those upsides, I'm like, that's a really cool upside.
It's true. I love it.
Love it.
Always think on the bright side. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Liz.
An amazing time to talk together.
Yay.
And I will see you soon. Probably food carts. All right. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.